Hey Taurus, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for April 3rd, 2025. This is for Taurus. Last shuffle for Taurus. Let's see what's going on. Uh-oh, something flew. So Taurus, we have milestone here, and then we have a creative endeavor, and then something fell out, which is dark thoughts. Some of you may be feeling like a milestone's been coming out a lot for everyone. No kidding. This would tell me that you are concerned. Some event happens, something happens here that is of your own design, your own making, and you may be concerned about how it's going to play out in the future. This looks like maybe you started on a goal. Milestones sometimes can start off as, like I said, a goal, and I'll reach it at a certain point, right? Far in the future, very far in the future. And maybe you haven't exactly reached the goal just yet, but you've gotten to a certain point in the goal where you know that things will work out, but now having second thoughts. Perhaps this isn't going to work out. Perhaps there's more. I bit off more than I could chew. That kind of thing. It looks like you finally complete something. If you have a checklist, you check something off your list, and this is all your design. It looks like too. The only answer to this, to the next legs of your journey, is to let love be the guide. Live your life from love, guided by it. Everything that you do is like, do I love it? Do I love this? Do I love that? They're asking you to forgive your parents, and I feel like you've gotten this many times before, where it's important that you forgive your parents because you wouldn't be where you are without them. Not just the fact that you were born, but maybe even the heartbreak that you've experienced, the abuse that you've experienced from, like, through them, has led you to this point anyway. I'm getting that. You know how the things that they may have said to you, the way that they may have treated you, you wouldn't have this goal or be experiencing a level of success had you not gone through what they went, what gone through whatever it was with them. I'm seeing for some of you that you are either going to start, if you aren't successfully working with professionals like brokers or lawyers. I'm also seeing that you are learning. You may realize that some of this was karmic, like it was part of a lesson. Dealing with your parents, dealing with certain people, the things that you went through literally was part of your karmic contract. And you now realize that karma doesn't rule you. You're not a victim of karma. You're not every circumstance is not because you're paying karma. It's you. It's your own design. You have control over karma. You can control whether or not you suffer from it or not, which tells me that now North Node may be very prominent for you. You might want to look into your North Node just to see where you are in your journey, because this plays a huge part in where you are. And some of the karmic directives now at this point involve other people. Now it requires you to forgive your parents. It requires you to accept apologies, accept amends. Um, if there's Don't let yourself get pulled into emotional drama when this comes out, because the milestone is the World, Knight of Cups, Nine of Wands, and the Three of Swords. You may have overcome some emotional drama. You now may not overthink and ruminate over what they did and how they treated you and what they said. Don't allow yourself to get pulled back in. So this would look very much so like maybe you speak to your parents or you speak to certain people, and now they're, instead of saying fully sorry, they may go back into, well, I did this only because of this, and you know what I went through, and then start to suck you into an emotional drama. Instead, it's like, all is good, all is well, move on, right? I'm seeing that because that's what ends up happening a lot of times when you try to speak to someone about what's going on. Um, they're also, you know what I mean. Especially if this involves a romantic interest, the problems that you two have faced had a lot to do with the lack of forgiveness when it comes to, maybe they didn't forgive their parents and you didn't forgive yours, and you may feel like a lot of your issues resemble the issues that you experienced with your parents and them as well. Like maybe you look at them and go, wow, we're acting just like your parents. A kind of energy, if you are in a romantic connection, this connection can heal if we say, you know what, our parents did the best that they could. And allow yourself to be guided by love in that way. Like I love them simply because of XYZ, and really list the things that you love about them and forget the things that they did. That's the only protection that you have. And they want you, in order to stay on this path, right? The positive affirmation should be, I am mindful at all times and live only within each moment I have, because that would dispel this thought process of dark thoughts of the future, focusing so far ahead. Like, said, well, now that this is the way it is, this is what I've got to deal with. This is what I can expect. As they're showing an expectation. And they're also showing that you need to say to yourself consistently, like, close your eyes and tell yourself that you deserve to feel joyful no matter what your circumstances are. You deserve it. You deserve to be happy no matter what. You may have just now told your parents off. You may have told the person off and did this and that and the third. You may have been the bad person, the wrong one in the party. Maybe you were the one to sabotage things. So you still deserve to be happy, right? It's not a crime to laugh, and someone needs to know that. Like, it's okay to laugh. Like, maybe you're the parent, and you have to forgive your parents, right? And your children need to forgive you, because perhaps they're saying things to you that you felt about your own parents. It's okay. So you still deserve to be happy, right? And you can heal this situation by allowing yourself to fully be guided by love, knowing that, hey, I am where I am because at least they love me enough to let me live. Like, you know what I mean? That, even if that's the least that you could say, they love me enough to spare my life, kind of vibe. And that's still cool. That's what you got to do to keep moving, because you were meant to learn certain lessons, and there are people that are a part of this lesson. They may not even know why they did what they did. You know how, like, I was watching a video of how this one child, he said, and my mom would tear me up if I did this, but when he turned around, his mother was dancing with his little children on the couch. The kids were jumping all over the couch just with their shoes on, and he's just sitting there staring at the screen with tears in his eyes. Like, but it's a joke, right? It was a joke. I think it was like fake sadness. He was like, I would have got tore up if that were me. Look at this. My mom's doing all this extra stuff with my children that she would have killed me for. And so the vibe is realizing that your parents may not have even known why they were the way they were with you. They finally get out of this cloud of karma, and they're like, now I'm the grandma that gives you a piece of chocolate, or the grandpa that lets you sit on his motorcycle, where before you went anywhere near it, if he saw anything on it, he was ready to blow, when he was your dad, kind of thing. So they were part of a karma that they don't even realize. They come out the fog and they're just like, now I just want to be all love. Hard to forgive them, because why did you do me like this? But there's something about them realizing this, right? I'm seeing angel number 0000, so 4 zeros. And that's usually like a timely reminder that anything can be accomplished. If you could dream it, there's no reason why you can't make it a reality. If it's in the possession of another person, it can also be yours. It's also available to you. So they want you to remain very calm, and that what's meant for you is meant for you, and it won't pass you by, right? Let go of tension. So the creative endeavor is a King of Swords and the Ten of Wands, and this is definitely a a vibe of, or a situation that shows that you create your own reality. What this also looks like, though, is that someone is realizing that a lot of your situations you may have created for yourself. Okay, doesn't mean that you messed up. It means that maybe you realize that you were working from a place of just being overwhelmed when you made decisions. Like, I'm overwhelmed with feelings or thoughts of negativity. Someone may have been in a really dark place mentally. Spirit wants you to let go of all of this. It may be too heavy at this point now. And the only way to protect yourself is to know that something beautiful is going to come from this. Something beautiful. Okay. Vast universe is Page of Pentacles and Strength. So this tells me that your vast universe is speaking about you're headed towards learning, a greater understanding of something. Okay. That if you stick to what you know, and allow new information to come in. And I'm also seeing just focusing on now, right? Focusing on now. Let's see what else we've got. Joy is fun, is justice. And when I said that, I don't know if y'all heard that, something just brushed up against the wall, and I just had to turn around, like, what just happened? And you guys, I swear, every time I do a Taurus reading, something weird happens. Either the door just opens for no reason, or something falls and I haven't touched it. And I'm like, what the heck is going on with you guys? You guys have such a strong spirit, like connection. Maybe, you know what I mean? Joy's fun. with Justice and Knight of Swords. This tells me that the energy around you is that everyone's going to be honest with you, but they're going to be confused about the reasons. Like I said, with your parents, right, or parents in general, it looks like you try to ask questions like, what, why, or I get that you feel bad, but why, or whatever the heck it is, and they don't know why. They won't be able to tell you. All they could tell you is, well, this is what happened to me, and this is why I did what I did. And it's almost to evoke some level of, like, they want to avoid their aspect, their point of whatever, you know, to, I've been through that too. You ask someone why, and they're just like, well, you just got to understand where I come from, and that, back in those days, it was a different time, and I was raised this way, instead of just taking accountability for where you are and why. And so you might experience that, and Spirit says you still deserve to feel joyful. And the only way to protect yourself fully, to be able to say, you know what, I'm letting this go, I'm moving forward, would be to focus on love. Let love for them, the fact that they do love you, to guide you, to push you forward. That's all you can really do, if that's the case, right? And if you can't speak to them, you can say they're gone. Allow yourself to say, I still deserve to be happy, though, I really do. And to move in that direction of, look, I just want to focus on what I love in my life. I want to focus on my purpose. I was here for a reason, and part of their path had to do with pushing me on my path. And sometimes that may have required them to make you doubt yourself, to overwhelm you, to offend you. It may have been part of it. Spirit always transmutes toxicity into something that's useful for you. So this was more of a lesson, and so I do see life's purpose energy coming through. They may have acted more like a mentor in that way, where they were everything in the world that you needed to get used to, so that you could grow and become the person you are. Perhaps you were supposed to be strengthened, and part of that was them being the way that they were. And it's very important to just to accept that and forgive them. Um, your life benefits greatly from that. Okay, like, greatly. You will move out of a dark place so quickly once you just say, you know what, I do love them, and but I also love myself, and I do understand that sometimes we do things we don't understand. We don't understand why. Like, you have a certain feeling towards a person, and it's like, I don't know why, but I just, I feel like I need to bust their chops. I don't know why. And I know that how it sounds, but that's what they keep throwing out here. Um, Spirit wants you to do a siren bath. And so usually that's like a pound of sea salt, right? And you put it in a bowl, and you drop 10 drops of jasmine oil, and then 10 drops of either of these two, but I've done all three before, neroli or ylang-ylang, and mix it together. And instead of taking a shower in the morning, you would make this bath. Pour all the salt in this bath, right? Make sure it's dissolved properly. And this bath is very interesting, because you're not meant to comb your hair. You're not meant to do the scrub. You're meant to soak in this bath. You're meant to lay in it. So I don't know if you're one of those people. It's like, I need to take a shower first before I take this bath. You know what I'm saying? I've done that before too, like scrub everything off. But you would lay in this bath, hair and everything. And the whole time that you're in this bath, you're visualizing that people are turning their heads towards you. People are wanting to come towards you, and you know what kind of energy you would like to have come towards you, whether this is in the realm of love, or just to love you in general, not necessarily intimacy, right? Physical intimacy. But hey, I just want people to notice me, and to realize, or to get, to some degree, you getting what you want out of a situation. You're able to attract, or to strengthen your manifestation skills, as far as, or not skills, but your manifestation power, by having people feel drawn to you. So you would lay in this bath. And when you get out of the tub, we're not combing and we're not towel drying. We're letting ourselves air dry. Okay. And then you are going through the day doing more listening than talking. You would be surprised what comes towards you. Okay. you're going to get a lot of compliments. You may get a lot of compliments. You may get a lot of attention. But this is part of the journey. I'm assuming, because I don't know why they're showing this. They want you to be a peacock spirit, to let yourself shine in a sense. As you're the color, the sky blue is significant. You may want to incorporate that into your wardrobe, or have it around you to protect yourself. It vibrates on that frequency of knowing exactly what to do or say to protect yourself. So you could be dealing with a Leo, a Capricorn, a Libra, mhm, or you could be dealing with an Aquarius or a Gemini, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, or another Taurus, or Virgo. You could be a Taurus Gemini cusp. You could be dealing with a Libra Scorpio cusp, or um, a Virgo Libra cusp, Leo Virgo cusp, Cancer Leo cusp, Gemini Cancer. And that seems to be it. If you're not dealing with those signs, which you don't have to be, those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.